the language and sort of the general expectation around what cultures and behaviours we're expecting has moved forward, whereas the language of 20 years ago was, you know, the need to think about soft skills. It uses the word soft skills. You know, I think we've moved on from that and recognising those skills are an essential part of the mix, not just something that's a bolt on. It talks about that. You get a sense that those were the exceptions rather than the rule then, whereas I think now if you go into any large project organisation, the language, the mood music is definitely, you know, definitely moved forward in terms of cultures and behaviours around learning and the importance of it. But I still think underlying that we still have some of the same problems as in creating the time and space to actually do it, and actually how do we access it and how do we really embed learning into what we do day to day. If I look at this through the lens of someone starting out on a big project and thinking about where to go for that, how do I do this best? I still don't think we've grasped that nettle properly yet. How do we take information developed in projects into the wider environment that allows to have the embedded learning? So the clue is in the phrase. It's the learning organisation. It's not the individuals. I think we're still very much culturally focused on learning at an individual level, whereas we don't yet understand how, and digital will undoubtedly play a part here, to the benefit of embedding the learning into the fabric of organisations. And even the likes of, you know, HS2, Crossrail, the Olympics, those organisations that have had developed learning legacies. The nature of it is backwards looking. It is, you know, the Crossrail learning legacy. It's very project specific and it's backwards looking. Who is the authority, the entity, and maybe the MPA is one of those vehicles, and perhaps should be one of those vehicles that takes that out of the project and lifts it up and allows it to be accessed forward into the next thing that we do. Learning is about transfer, and I think one of the great phrases I think in the report from 99 is it talks about knowledge being transfer, and if it's not transferred, it's not doing its job. So whether that's transfer of skills, transfer of knowledge, transfer of abilities, transfer of experiences, it's an action. It's a verb. It's not a noun. It's got to be action forward into something new and something different. Again, recognizing that lessons come from things done well, but also learning from failure. And there's a really great section of the report about a tunnel collapse that was on a Balfour Beatty project. And actually, the really interesting set of behaviours that followed that was Balfour Beatty at that point, or that group of people in that project, were seen as the experts as to how to mitigate tunnel failure because they'd been through it. It recognised the learning experience those individuals had been through an adverse event,